Welcome to Defense Talks Matters. What the world feared for years has now become reality. On June 13th, 2025, Israel launched a massive direct military strike deep into Iranian territory, an unprecedented escalation that shattered decades of covert conflict and pushed the Middle East toward open war. This is not just another airstrike. It's a coordinated, high-intensity operation, one of the largest offensive campaigns Israel has ever executed. And it signals a dramatic shift in the region's balance of power. Let's begin with the operation itself. In the early hours of June 13th, over 200 Israeli fighter jets and support aircraft took to the skies. This formidable formation included F-35I Adir stealth fighters, F-15I Ram long-range strike platforms, and F-16I Sufa multi-role jets, escorted by electronic warfare and reconnaissance drones. These aircraft entered Iranian airspace through multiple corridors, disrupting early warning radars and command networks within minutes. The target list was as bold as it was devastating. Key nuclear facilities at Natanz and Esfahan, long-range missile bases, hardened IRGC command centers, and underground bunkers. Satellite analysis shows heavy bombardment at the Natanz enrichment halls where new-generation centrifuges had recently been installed. At Esfahan, explosions rocked uranium conversion centers and key research labs. But this wasn't just a strike on infrastructure, it was a decapitation mission. Within hours, confirmation began pouring in. Among those killed, Major General Hossein Salami, commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, head of the IRGC Aerospace Force, and General Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of Iran's strategic military planning. Several senior nuclear scientists, including Fareydun Abbasi and Mohammad Mehdi Tehranchi, also lost their lives in precision strikes, targeting their secure residences and convoys. The intelligence required for such pinpoint targeting didn't come from satellites alone. Reports strongly suggest Mossad played a critical role not only in tracking these individuals, but in coordinating cyber operations that paralyzed portions of Iran's air defense grid. Hours before the strike, Iran's radar network went dark across central and western provinces. Internal communication channels were jammed. It was surgical, and it was lethal. Iran's losses are not just symbolic, they're operational. The removal of multiple high-ranking military commanders and nuclear experts in one night severely disrupts command cohesion and scientific progress. Iran has acknowledged at least 78 deaths and over 300 injuries, though the real toll is likely higher. Emergency containment teams have been deployed to secure radiation zones at damaged facilities, but reports coming for no leakage of radiation happened. Following the attack, Israel released declassified footage from its aerial and satellite surveillance systems. The clips show precision-guided munitions striking missile launcher sites, drone deployment pads, and underground entrances suspected to lead to hidden missile storage. In some footage, secondary explosions can be seen, suggesting the presence of ammunition and fuel stockpiles. The footage was released as part of a strategic messaging campaign to show both the scale and the accuracy of the operation. But Iran did not remain silent. Within 12 hours of the Israeli assault, Tehran unleashed a counteroffensive. More than 150 ballistic and cruise missiles were launched toward Israeli territory. Air raid sirens blared in Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Jerusalem as the Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow 3 systems activated in unison. But a handful slipped through. One missile struck central Tel Aviv, killing 3 civilians and wounding over 30. Power outages and communication disruptions were reported across several districts. For the first time in over a decade, Israeli civilians witnessed the terrifying reality of sustained missile fire from a state adversary. Simultaneously, reports emerged of Israeli drone strikes near Tehran's Mehrabad airport and in the western provinces, targeting mobile missile units believed to be involved in the retaliation. Explosions were also heard near Iranian military airfields in Hamadan and Dezful. This is no longer tit-for-tat warfare. This is strategic escalation. What we're witnessing is the collapse of long-standing deterrence. Israel has crossed a historic line, executing direct strikes on Iran's nuclear infrastructure and military leadership. Iran, in return, has demonstrated its willingness to respond with force, risking broader regional fallout. Diplomatic channels have gone quiet. The United Nations has called for restraint, but neither side is backing down. Iran's statement following the attack was clear. This is not the end of our response. Israel, meanwhile, has indicated that this was only the first phase of a sustained campaign. And make no mistake, this conflict is far from over. The potential for further escalation remains dangerously high. More missile exchanges, cyber attacks, proxy mobilizations, regional destabilization, all of it is now on the table. And with both nations treating this as an existential confrontation, the path to de-escalation has narrowed dramatically. For defense watchers and strategists around the world, this is a critical moment, not just for Israel and Iran, but for the global security architecture. The precedent set here will shape how nations respond to emerging nuclear threats and direct confrontation in the years ahead. You know, at the time we are making videos, still strike from both sides is ongoing. We will update you with developments. Please subscribe to our channel.